Ever wondered how top resellers manage it all? Here's their secret: virtual assistants. There are only so many hours in the day that it is impossible for you to scale and grow your reselling business without any help. Now, hiring an actual W-2 employee is extremely complicated, and you need to have a payroll account, pay taxes, insurance, and so much more. So for a reseller who's bringing in, let's say, 2,000 gross revenue per month, hiring a W-2 employee doesn't make sense. Before you take this giant step, you might consider a virtual assistant, or VA for short, to help grow and scale your resale business. And as your business grow, then you can afford to hire a W-2 employee. So in this video, I am going to talk about what exactly is a virtual assistant, what can they do you need a VA, and where can you find a VA. Make sure to stay at the end of this video where I will provide you tips on how to properly hire and onboard a virtual assistant. What is a VA or virtual assistant? A VA is generally a person that works remotely and performs electronic tasks to help you run your business. This is very different from hiring a person to come to your home or workspace and photograph items for you. First, you do not necessarily have to host or meet this person, and you can pay them for their services as a contractor rather than a legal employee. What does a virtual assistant do? Reseller virtual assistants commonly do things such as edit images, draft listings, cross-list listings, and do electronic administrative tasks. Basically, they can do what doesn't need to be done in person based upon their training and experience. Now, the biggest mistake resellers make when hiring a VA is outsourcing the tasks that they are not good at. If you're not good at making descriptions, then how do you expect to train your VA and provide you the results that you are looking for? Now, you can argue and say,
I'll just hire an experienced VA.
well, their experience came from another reseller who may or may not be good at training. And I'll talk more about this later on in the video on how to properly hire and onboard a VA. Do you need a VA? This is always a great debate, and the answer is it depends on two things: how much you are currently making and what type of quality life do you want to have. So to figure out if you can afford to hire help, I would take your average profit per month for the last 6 months or more and ask yourself, how much am I willing to pay someone so I can gain back my time? So for example, if you are spending 10 hours per month on listing and you are averaging a profit of $1,000 per month, ask yourself these questions. How much is your time worth to you? And can you make more than what you are willing to pay? So in this scenario, let's say your time is worth $20 per hour times the 10 hours. That equals to $200 per month. To help you answer that last question, with you getting back 10 hours of your time, can you make more than $200? With that 10 hours, can you sort better? Can you take better photos? Or better yet, is $200 worth having more time with your family? Always remember this: you can always make more money, but you can never make up for lost time. By the way, if you find this video helpful, give this a thumbs up so we know to make more videos like this. Where can I find a VA? Popular websites to find VAs are Fiverr, Upwork, or onlinejobs.ph. These three websites are international, and many resellers capitalize on cheap labor as the minimum wage that people are willing to work for varies greatly depending on location. If you do not want to waste time training VAs because your VA left you for a better opportunity, then you need to pay a fair wage.
Show me the money.
Because hiring is expensive, which brings me to how to properly hire and onboard a virtual assistant. In my previous role as an operations manager, I learned that hiring goes beyond just reviewing resumes. Over my 13 years in that position, I've come to realize that sometimes too much experience can actually be a drawback. For example, I hired a gentleman who had 20 plus years of experience. I'm talking about a glowing resume and amazing references. Within 2 weeks, I fired him. Not only did he lie in his resume, he was also too stubborn to learn new things. So when you're hiring during the interview process, ask a lot of questions. It can help you confirm what they wrote in their resume is true. It also shows how they react to pressure. It can let you know whether you can get along and work together. And this one is the most important part on the hiring process. Do a paid test. So let's just say you're hiring a VA to do your listing. In a Google Doc, upload the photos of an item and write instructions on what you want the VA to do. Give that Google Doc to potential candidates and say, I'll pay you, I don't know, $2 for this one listing. So with that paid test, you are evaluating their English, attention to detail, their ability to do research, and their turnaround time. You want to do this paid test on candidates that passed your interview questions. And notice I said candidates, which is why I said earlier that hiring is expensive and time consuming. Now, let's move on to onboarding your VA that you hired. If you dislike having to repeat yourself, do yourself a favor and get on Loom and create video tutorials. Create multiple videos such as how to log into Vendoo, how to do research on vintage tea, and so forth. The onboarding phase is also the time to lay out expectations, such as do you expect them to respond to you in 24 hours? Or when is payroll day? How can they track their hours? And so forth. Do not assume your VA can read your mind. Now, you can use a project management tool such as Upbase, where you can store all of your procedures and policies, and they can chat with you if they need help. One last thing, treat your VA with kindness. Do not pay late or ask for something that is not part of their task. I'm sure if your job did this to you, you're not going to be happy and want to stick around. Let me know in the comment box below if you have a VA and what are your tips to finding a good VA. Thanks for watching this video and see you next time. Bye for now.